All right, this is K-Roc, the Truth Hammer, talking about monetary reform. All right, quickly, the Fed movement rightly targets the Federal Reserve as being the real power players in our society. It's even more than that. In 1933, the United States was bankrupted while on a gold and silver debt-based money system, meaning the United States was borrowing in gold and silver from international bankers. Once it went bankrupt, the United States didn't have any more gold to pay off the loans, so basically the bankers wanted more collateral. Well, the collateral was actually all of the people's assets and their children's assets into perpetuity. And that's what initiated FDR's gold confiscation executive order. Well, when FDR turned the gold in, he didn't turn it over to the United States Treasury or the U.S. government. He turned it over to the Federal Reserve. It's written right on the executive order. The gold was turned into the private, for-profit, international, Zionist Federal Reserve. And it's Zionist, why? Because there's a Star of David written right on the back of a buck in 1934, the year after the bankers took over. Well, that's our real government. Like, oh, that's crazy that we have these... you know, you see the United States on everything. It looks like everything's running normally. How can you say that? Well, I'm a pool contractor. If my company was bankrupted, my name would still be on the building. It would still be on the trucks. It would still be on the shirts. It's just that the creditor would be making all the big decisions. Do you get that? This is a really important thing. So we go, well, that's just crazy. Well, no, it isn't. The bank bailouts went through in 2008. 90% of the people were against it, Democrats and Republicans, and it didn't matter because the bankers control the system. As far as that goes, because they control the monetary system, they didn't even need to ask for a vote. It's all just theater. The elections are theater. The politicians are vestigial. The whole thing is political theater. But if it makes you feel better, I'm running for president, so I hope I have your vote. So at least somebody's telling you the truth about the monetary system, the correct solution, and talks about 9/11 truth. The Zionist central bankers / Rothschilds perped 9/11 in order to get the United States to go die and pay for Israel's wars. So that being said, getting to monetary reform. I'm real easy to get off track, but I hope you stay with me. The Federal Reserve is the real government of the United States. It's an offshore entity. Foreign bankers own it, and their political persuasion, not their religion, their political persuasion is Zionists. They believe Israel is the cat's meow. All right, so let's move forward to monetary reform. We basically have two systems that we operate under right now, and you can even look back, 100 years. 100 years ago, all of our money said United States on it, and none of it said Federal Reserve. Well, now the majority of our money, 99% of it, is not printed as Ron Paul says all the time, or Mises, or G. Edward Griffin, or any of the like. It's not printed. It is borrowed into circulation, and whenever you borrow money into circulation, whether it's paper, or gold, or silver, or whatever, digital, if you borrow the money into circulation, it's unsustainable in the exact same way that a Ponzi is unsustainable. It can't work because there's always more money owed than is actually in circulation. So if I'm the United States and I borrow 10 million from the Federal Reserve, that means I have at 10%, 1 million I got to pay back. Well, if I don't have that $1 million in gold to pay back, one of two things is going to happen. I'm either going to have to borrow more and set off a debt Ponzi in the exact same way that we have going on now, or we will have to default, in which case they bankrupt the nation. Get it? While it's on gold and silver. Get it? Just like happened in 1933. Just like they engineered panics in 1883, 1907, 1921, and 1929. This is how the scam works. The Bible warns against usury 15 times. The Bible does not warn against paper 15 times. Usury is what is destroying us. this happens locally on your block too. So let's say there's 10 houses on your block and there's 10 loans at $100,000 apiece. The bankers loan it to you at, say, 10% interest. It doesn't really matter if it's 1% interest. It's impossible for everybody on your block to pay back the loans, because at 10% of $1 million, that means $100,000 has to be paid back. Well, it's impossible because only $1 million exists. It's impossible. So the correct system, as I was getting into, the correct solution is we have two competing monetary systems already being used. Right now, there are two different monetary systems at work in the United States. One is the Federal Reserve private system. The other is the United States Treasury public system. That's public money. Well, the difference is when public money is issued into circulation, there's no debt attached. So if you look at your coins, I'm looking around for a coin right now. Anyway, you know what they look like. If you look at your coins and they say United States and Liberty, the thing that they do not say on them is Federal Reserve, and they don't say note, like a promissory note. What's a promissory note? It's a loan, okay? Well, since they don't have a debt attached, there's no debt owed. They are just issued into circulation. If all of our money for the last 100 years was issued into circulation publicly, that we would have no national debt. Think of that. Think how much more wealth you would have if you had no debt. Think about it. This is a very, very big topic, and no one is talking about it other than Bill Still and Ellen Brown. Those are two big speakers I want you to look into. Ellen Brown, Bill Still, and George Whitehurst Berry. George Whitehurst Berry has been my personal mentor, and that's been part of my deep understanding of the monetary system. Public money, created debt-free is the solution. If we could get a vote. Now, Bill Still is running for president as the candidate for the Libertarian Party. The problem is we are going to be expecting a bunch of crooked politicians to vote something in when they're not even in charge. The bankers are in charge. Again, the creditor in any bankruptcy, the U.S. has been in bankruptcy since 1933, makes all the big decisions. So we ain't going to get this through a vote. Alternatively, if we create local currencies, as I would suggest that we do right now, rather than protesting and marching and doing all this, show that you understand what's really going on. Show that you understand that globalism and having a national currency has been destroying us, because that means fewer and fewer and fewer people make the decisions. That's all tyrannic because it's a smaller number of people making the decisions for you. So just imagine that you made the currency for your community, you and your neighbors, and you chose to issue that debt-free, which you better issue it debt-free. You can create loans for houses, put people to work, put solar systems on people's houses. How's that for an idea? Put solar systems on people's houses so that we don't have to use fossil fuels, get it from the Middle East where the evildoers are, or really just regardless of where we get it, we don't have to dig it up and destroy the planet and have all the byproducts. So anyway, consider these options, and I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. So K-Roc, the truth bomb carries on. I hope you're spreading the message, because I have the right solution to what ails us. If you don't want the police to keep beating you down, well, the police beat you down because the people in charge control the monetary system. If we create our own system over here that we pay the police, then the police will beat down the bad guys instead of us. How's that for a solution? K-Roc, the truth bomb, for president. I hope I got your vote. Peace and wisdom to you.